welcome to the Standpoint, and welcome to that miraculous month of December. Welcome. This month has very special meaning for me, and those of you who know me know that I love Christmas, and what a way to begin the month of December. What I'm going to talk about today is not too pleasant, but it must be talked about. At the end of this program, I believe that hearts will be lighter. There'll be hope restored. People will be motivated and encouraged that it is not over until you finally close your eyes. Everything and anything is possible with God. Childlessness, the killer stigma. Childlessness, the killer stigma. If you've been there before, you know what I'm talking about. My name is Gifty, and welcome to the stand. Hey, let me correct myself before I'm divorced. My name is Ohineyere Gifty, and welcome to the Standpoint. Let me say thank you to GTP for my club. This is their new style fabric designs. Go out there, get some for your loved one during this Christmas. Thank you to Ophelia Crossland Design for sewing for me. Dora, you are super. You are my super girl. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you, Aquile and Velma, all of you for making me so proud. Thank you to Paba Cosmetics, always faithful for my makeup products and makeup and more for applying the makeup for us. We take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about the taboo topic. We'll be back. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome back to the Standpoint. Oh yeah, it feels good to be back. And we are starting the month of December, and our topic for discussion today is childlessness, the killer stigma. And I have the right people here to talk about it. But before then, let me say thank you to our sponsors. Walmart Africa, they produce Phytol cooking oil. Yes, good old Phytol cooking oil. You need it for this Christmas, all the enchichoes that you do. Go for Phytol cooking oil. They also produce Fortune Rice, which comes in 3 types, and you identify the types by the packaging. The green package one is very good for the soft dishes. That's the omutuo, rice water, and so on and so forth. The orange package one is suitable for wache. Yeah, wache, which I love. And then the wine colored one, package one, is also very good for all the fried rices, the jollof, the coconut rice, the whatever rice, you know, the chinchichoe rice that you do. That one is very good for us. So we are so grateful to them. And thank you to our supporters. That is Veraldo by Casa Preco. And then also Go to Your God. And also thank you to Eco Spa Mineral Water. We are grateful to have them back on board. La 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 gives us the asana, the sobolo, and then the natural fruit juices, which every single person in my audience will be served with. So we are so grateful to them. But to my panel and to the main discussion for today, to my immediate, in fact, my extreme left, I have Madam Nada Aqua Moses. She is a banker. Welcome to the Standpoint. Next to her, I have Madam AC Bentsi-enchill, who is a counseling psychologist. Welcome. And then to my immediate left is the main woman who actually engineered this program. Believe me, she told me she's been chasing me for this recording since when? May or April. And it's a very important topic that we need to discuss. She is Dr. Florence Knapp. She's a lecturer and a researcher. Welcome to the stand.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Knapp, childlessness, this issue, this stigma, this canker, this killer of a condition that our society has turned it into. Mm-hmm. In other jurisdictions, it's not. Yeah. But in our society, it's a big issue. And it's been with us for some time now. Yes. But why is it a passion for you now?
In fact, it is a passion for me Not now. It's been with me for years, even before I started as a researcher.
Okay.
And it's a passion for me because of what I see women go through. Years back in my clinical work as a nurse, I have seen women go for family planning for the wrong reasons, because of myths, because they have heard that if you take it wrongly, you'll get pregnant. And so we had the wrong people coming for family planning. And it was through interaction that I got to know that women are fighting to get pregnant, and they just don't know what to do about it. So I had a passion long ago, and so when the opportunity came for me to start research, I thought I have to look into this.
So are you worried about this new trend of young ladies going in for family planning medicines and drugs in the form of preventing pregnancies?
In the form of preventing pregnancies, it depends on who is taking it. It is okay if you have a good reason to prevent the pregnancy. But especially when you know your level of fertility, that's okay. But if you don't know your level of fertility, you don't have a reason, to prevent the pregnancy, I think you should let it come.
So you think that you have to know your fertility level before you go in for family planning?
Yes.
So you don't go in just because you don't want to get pregnant, or you've had a baby 1 year, you want to wait 3 years or 4 years before you have it?
You've had a baby, you want to wait, yes, you can still go and let them, there are tests you can do to let you know your fertility level, and then you go on the choice that you want.
So if you want check your fertility level first before you go in.
Exactly, because if you have a very low fertility and then you go in for it, it may delay unduly.
Wow. Trust me, this is the first time I'm actually hearing this argument. I was going to ask, how do you know? But you've talked about it. Check. Madam Messi, you are a counselor and a psychologist as well. How do women who go through or who marry and wait for years, and the baby is not coming, what kind of psychological effect does it have on them?
Well, mainly it's not the inability to have a child is not what actually causes the psychological problems. It's a mixture of psychosocial issues. Because our society is pronatalist, highly pronatalist, and the way we are socialized as women.
Speak English. Pronatalist,
meaning that we are pro-children.
Okay.
Women and men mainly go into marriage to have children. As soon as you see that when someone is getting engaged, that's what they are talking about.
Yes.
In the next few months, we are expecting to see the bump. We are expecting to see the child.
Yeah. Or we'll meet at the outdoor.
Exactly. As soon as that doesn't happen in the first year, second year, third year, then there are issues. The person gets stigmatized. They begin to hear all sorts of comments. There's pressure from the family, the lady's own family, from the husband's family, from friends. Oh, when is the child coming? Do you have a child yet? And all sorts of comments. And this causes a lot of psychological problems. You find that women begin to isolate themselves. They don't want to get close to anything that will remind them of their childlessness. A friend would invite them to their child's birthday party. They don't want to go because everybody will be like, oh, so where are your children?
Exactly.
They don't want to hear that.
Even those who know that you don't have children will be asking you that.
Exactly. And that causes anxiety. It can lead into actual clinical depression. It can lead to you isolating yourself. It can lead to you having issues with your relationships, with your spouse, with your spouse's family, with your own family, with friends. And it's quite burdensome. There's a lot of psychosocial fallout from infertility, and that is a major problem.
Nada, how long did it take you before you had your baby after marriage?
5 years.
5 years?
Yes.
And how was it like, the 5 years waiting period?
For the 5 years, I met Dr. Nab and Auntie AC
Oh, okay.
during the counseling period. So
Okay.
it was, I think, 3.5 before I met them. So life before the counseling was a bit different from after
Okay.
I went for the counseling.
Okay.
So childlessness for 3.5 years. Sometimes you feel like everything is okay. You'd want to be brave about it, like I'm okay. Until you hear certain comments from outside, from your workplace, from your friends and everything, and then it would dawn on you a bit. But if you want to be strong about it, you go like, oh, everything is okay, but sometimes it's not okay. Most of the times it wasn't okay, but you just want to be strong about it, that,
Yeah.
oh, I'm fine. Without a baby, I'm fine. But you hear certain comments and then you realize that it's getting to you somehow.
But your husband was okay with it?
Yes, he was okay.
There was no pressures on him?
No, that's what he said. But
I like that. That's what he
yeah,
said.
that's what he said. So I wouldn't know, but that is what he said, and he never gave me any pressure.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we mount the pressure on our own selves, because you might think that people are thinking you don't have a baby, so you're not there yet, until you have a baby. People even think you're less of a woman.
A woman, yeah.
You don't even have anything worth using your money for, because you don't have kids.
Yeah.
What do you use your money for?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not that important, and all those negative comments.
But how did it affect you personally?
Me personally, it made me stronger. Yes.
Really? Because me, anytime I had my menses, I cried.
Yes. Sometimes, that's what I said. Sometimes it will dawn on you that, why did I even have my period this month? Because you think you might probably have had lots of sex during the month and nothing happened, and so you'd be worried.
Didn't it affect your sex
did.
life? Because
Like
sometimes you feel like
you're having sex for
but it's not happening. So what's the
you're
point?
having sex to get pregnant, and then it makes it stressful.
Yeah.
Because all the myths surrounding sex, so you have to raise your legs for the sperms to go through and everything. It
all the
becomes
times of day and all that.
Very, very stressful. Yes.
Auntie, let me come to you. Let me get a bit of, I asked Nada about what her husband, or how her husband felt, and he said it was okay, How do the men also, because sometimes we tend to think that the men don't really, they're not bothered.
Normally, in our culture, infertility is a woman's problem, not a man's problem. When the pregnancy is not coming, it's always the woman's fault.
Yeah.
But research will show us that it's 40-40, and then 20% we don't know what is actually happening.
Right.
But then our culture says that, oh, you haven't gotten pregnant, it is you. No one ever considers the man. So the pressure is not so much on the man like it is on the woman. So yes, the man may desire a child, but they will not have that kind of pressure and that kind of stigma like the woman would have. So I would say that it does affect us all, but not, the significance is not the same for both sides. Yes.
Okay.
And therefore they are able to mask it better than we would be able to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you said it made you stronger, but didn't it affect your social life?
It did. It even prevented me from seeing some friends, because it would get to a point you call everybody and it's like, now that mommy felt back quiet and every time you call one person who is supposed to be your best friend, maybe you used to talk a lot. Then later you call, and every time you call, she would have to cut you off because she has to go and see to her kids. That's fine. But then then you don't start thinking like as if, well, you don't have anything doing, so you just picked up the phone and you're just calling people to chat.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not deliberate, but you will feel as if they're deliberately rubbing it in your face.
Yes. And there were those who would deliberately
of
rub
course,
it in your face, but
of course,
that's how I felt. So it broke some relationships off for some time, and then sometimes like you wouldn't want to really visit them, because when you go,
you can't get time for anything. Everything will be centered around the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it affected my relationship with my friends.
Dr.
Yes.
Labi, you want to come in with something
Yes.
before I take a short break here?
Yes. On the part of men, it does affect them. My first research on infertility was actually on men. I suffered to recruit the men. But the biggest problem they had as men with infertility was the problem that families, friends, and society was giving to their wives. Their biggest problem was the consent for their wives. And that also led some of them into depression. So it affects the men, but you know, in our culture, they say, "Bemansu."
Yeah.
So even if they are hurting, they try to keep it inside, and they will tell you, the woman, oh, there's no problem, but deep down there's something.
Deep down, there's something deep down. Well, let me take another break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. You're watching The Standpoint, and we're talking about childlessness, the killer stigma. And let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth, Ophelia Crossland Design, so does dress for me. Papa Cosmetics always provide a makeup product and applied by Makeup and More. The program, The Standpoint, can be watched on our YouTube channel, that's The Standpoint, or our website, www.thestandpoint.com.gh. is powered by Dream Over. Remember, this program is also aired on ABN TV on Sky Channel 235, which is across Western Europe, parts of Canada and Asia. Go to our Facebook page, The Standpoint, and like us, follow us on Instagram, and then, of course, on our Twitter. Just come in with all your comments and everything. Let's have an interaction. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Thank you very much. Welcome back. The Standpoint is also supported by the African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. They've been supporting African women's rights organizations for over 16 years and still counting. Let me say thank you to House of Foods, Gogot Yogurt, Cake Techniques, Eco Spa Drinking Mineral Water, also supported Veraldo Pineapple Malt Drink from Casapreco, Lalala Fresh Juices, Yep Cleaning Services. They make sure our environment is clean, and Matamates provides us with the port. We are so grateful to all of them. Now, Nada, you said before you met Dr. Nab and Esi, it was different kind of, infertility period. But after you met them, things changed. How?
Until then, everything was like, you had a negative feeling towards everything. Even if someone passes a comment that is not even meant for you, you'd have to take it because you don't have a child. I went for the counseling, and then the counseling was basically about self-enhancement, self-acceptance, getting to know who you are, how to deal with the challenges as they come. So I realized within that period, everything around the whole situation, it changed for me. Now I could care less about what everyone would say. I began to know myself. So what? Am I the only person? And even within the group, we're quite a number. So it's always at the back of your mind that you are not alone. You are not the only person going through this problem. I even went there and I realized I didn't have a problem. Yes, I didn't have a problem.
You saw seniors,
yes, others were worse. Others had been married for years. Others had much bigger problems than I had. And so I was really encouraged. Yes.
So you think that loosened you up a bit?
It did. It did a lot. And even when I got pregnant, I didn't realize it because I wasn't thinking about pregnancy. And there were more things you could do when you're not pregnant.
Right.
When you don't have a baby, there are other things you can actually do with your life than just brooding over bitterness and all that.
So the counseling helps.
Yes.
So psychologically, it can, worsen your infertility situation.
So what we are trying to do is that, so the psychological counseling, there's no medication or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just a talk therapy that gives you a safe emotional environment to explore your feelings and find ways of coping, making better decisions, and probably having better relationships, and ensuring that you are still living a productive and fulfilling life, irrespective of the condition that you find yourself in. So we teach, or should I say, we encourage our women to be positive, constructive thinking. We teach them what depression is, so they can identify for themselves, am I depressed? We teach them how to get out of that depression. So we teach a lot of things, anger management, because this brings up a lot of anger. A lot of women are harboring anger, unforgiveness, because of the kind of treatment they receive from those around them because of their condition. So we teach them also about infertility, which Dr. Nab is a specialist in. So we teach them what infertility really is. Some don't even know, they just know I'm childless, but they don't understand exactly what it means and what it is about. So we teach them that, and then we provide the counseling to help them to cope, to help them to relate better with others. And sometimes the stigma is perceived. It's not always that it is real. So we deal with all those things to ensure that you as a person, you are moving on with your life. Like Nada said, you are not stuck just because you don't have a child. There's so much you can do with your life. How about your career? What purpose do you have for yourself? What is your vision for yourself? What is it? Don't put your life on hold and say that because you have a child, you are not going on with your life. You need to be productive. You find out that some women even become less productive at work. Everything on their mind is, I need a child. And it affects everything in their lives. You know, so we need to get the women from that situation. We need to teach them stress management, how to handle stigma, how to handle all the negative fallouts from the condition of infertility.
Nada, let me put you on the spot small. The counseling, during the counseling period and after the counseling session, did they help your sex life?
Yes, because we talked about sex. There was actually a topic on sex.
Okay. What aspect does treatment play?
In fact, in terms of treatment, let me look at it this way. Infertility.
Actually, what role does treatment play?
Yes. So infertility is a and I'll break it down, a biopsychosocial problem. So it means that there are biological problems, there are psychological problems, and there are social problems. So the biological problems are those you go to the hospital, they send you to the lab, and the doctor says, maybe your tubes are blocked, or maybe your husband has a low sperm count, and so you have infertility. So what we do in treatment is take care of the biological problems, the problems that we find in the hospital. But this woman also has, or this couple also has psychological problems. And the psychological problems are the worries, too much thinking, they are always sad, which leads them to depression. Those are the psychological problems. Now the social problems, they live in a community. And as we said earlier, you are married for now even 3 months and people are expecting you to get pregnant.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So it's almost like your family, the community, your friends, they are all watching your period, you know, to see when your belly will start, you know, to become...
You have a headache and they're like...
Exactly.
Thank you.
And then any onion. And so if that is not coming, within some few months there will be gossips, you know, in the community. Oh, this, I saw her doing things that women do at that time of the month, so it didn't happen, you know. So the gossip would somehow get back to the woman. Those are the social problems. And she would withdraw. Things that she used to do in the community, she wouldn't do them anymore. So you see the complexity of it. So biological problems, psychological problems, and social problems. Now, in terms of treatment, we take care of the biological problem, but we don't take care of, in Ghana, we don't take care of the psychological and the social problems. If you go to other parts of the world, they actually take care of the psychological and social problems before biological treatment or medical treatment comes in. But here in Ghana, that is a problem we have. And you know, the interesting thing is there's actually a relationship between the biological, your psychological problems and your ability to get pregnant. Because one of the problems that women with infertility go through is stress. A lot of stress. Yeah. And when you, as a woman, when you are stressed,
and sometimes it degenerates into depression.
Exactly. When you are stressed, your body will produce a lot of stress hormones. One of those hormones that the body produces is prolactin. And as a woman, when the prolactin level is high in your body, you don't ovulate. And without ovulation, you cannot get pregnant. So as long as you keep worrying, as long as you have the depression, prolactin will continue to be in your system. And that will prevent you from ovulating. So it won't happen. So we need to get these women to bring their lives to equilibrium, to a point where we say that we've been able to bring down their levels of thinking and depression to help them get pregnant. And that's when I was happy when Nada said it gave her, you know, some peace of mind. And so when she got pregnant, she didn't even know she was pregnant. Because at that time when you have come to accept it, that this is a problem, I don't have a child, and so what? Your body, you know, would start to produce the normal hormones that you are supposed to, when you least expect, and that's when it happens. This is one of the reasons why when somebody or when a couple adopts, the year they adopt is when the woman
gets pregnant. Yeah, exactly. It happens a lot.
Because at that time she's no longer thinking. There's somebody calling her mommy. She's not worried anymore. Yeah, and then it happens.
Yeah, and then it happens. Nada, did you seek medical treatment?
Yes.
Alongside,
yes,
you sought medical.
Yes.
Adesi, how do you get a woman to accept that she may never have a child?
It would take a lot of counseling to get one to that point. And one thing too is that some people, in addition to the treatment they receive, are also spiritual and add their faith as well. So combining all these things together, someone who would add their faith to all that is going on will be able to come to a point where they tell themselves, okay, this is the will of God for my life, or it is not. So when they come to the realization that, okay, why should I worry about something I can't do anything about? What is the point? Why should I put my life on hold when I cannot, and nobody else on this planet can do anything about it? There's so much more I can do. I can affect or impact society in so many other ways than just giving them a child. And I mean, like she said about adoption, there are so many children out there who need love, who need care. They don't have, they are orphaned. You see, so that is also a way of coming to terms with the fact that you can't have your own biological child, but you can have a child. And a mother is not only one who has given birth naturally. A mother is one who cares, loves, and nurtures and brings one up. You know, so it depends on the understanding the individual is able to arrive at. This will all factor into the ability to accept the fact that I can't have my own, but I can still be a mother.
All right, so let me say thank you to our main sponsor. That's Wilma Africa. They produce Frito cooking oil, good old Frito. Please make sure this Christmas, when I come to your home, I should find Frito. Then I'll be comfortable to eat your, stews and whatever you fried. They also produce Fortune rice, which comes in 3 types. That's the Fortune green Vietnamese rice. It's great for the soft dishes. That is for omutuo and rice water. Orange package one, which is suitable for wache. And then the wine package one, suitable for jollof rice and the fried rice and all the enchill rice. We take a break. When we come back, we'll be concluding this discussion. But I promise you, at the end of this program, whether you have a child, you don't have a child, whether it's delaying, whether it may never come, you will look towards Christmas with a positive attitude. We'll be back. Okay. Welcome back to the Standpoint. And let me go straight to the audience. I have a young lady who has a question.
My question is to Dr. Knapp. In the beginning, she did mention that you should check your fertility level. So I want to know the places you should go to, the right places, and then the kind of tests that are run so that you can know your fertility level.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Knapp.
Yes, in fact, every fertility or every hospital can help you do that. And all fertility clinics are capable of doing that. And then it involves checking to see whether your tubes are patent, whether you have the right hormone level, and all of that. So once the doctor is sure that you have the right hormone level, your tubes are patent, and then maybe you go for some family planning, then we are sure, that there is no problem before the family planning. But where your tubes are blocked, you don't have the right hormones, you have some kind of infection, and you add the family planning pills to it, then in the future you may have a problem. And every fertility clinic or hospital is capable of doing that.
Okay. Nada, in conclusion. But before your conclusion, let me ask this. How did you feel when you finally got pregnant?
I was super excited, and at the same time, I didn't believe I was pregnant. So when I was at the hospital, I thought I had malaria or something because I had headaches and all that. So I wanted to pass by the clinic. So as usual, you go and then they run tests. And then when I described how I was feeling, the doctor added pregnancy. I'd had a couple of pregnancy tests, so I knew it's always negative. So I was just waiting for them to
hear negative again.
Negative. So he brought it, and then it was positive. And then it was like, so you are pregnant. When I was on my way home, I had to go to the pharmacy shop to get pregnancy kits. I bought like 5. I got home, I tested. The next day I tested. I tested for like 3-4 days before. I was like, yes, so I'm pregnant. I couldn't believe it. So I went to a different clinic. And then
after you tested at home, you went to another clinic?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to a different clinic, and then they also did the test, and they had a scan, and it was confirmed I was pregnant. So I was excited. That's how I felt.
And how did you tell your husband?
I went with him to the hospital.
You went with him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because he took me to the hospital. Yes.
The first one or the second one?
The first one. Yes.
But he accepted and was cool by it.
Yes.
But you wanted to prove.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No, he was
typical
like,
woman. He wanted
yes. Why you doing all this? Yes, but I wanted to be very sure.
Very sure.
Yes.
Okay. In conclusion, what have you got to say, even as we enter this festive season? Women who have been in your situation, who are in the situation that you used to be, that's waiting to have that miracle of having a child.
What I would like to say is that it's about patience, and it's about the right timing. So in all that, in all your sadness, all the negative stuff people are saying about you, people making you believe that you are not worth it and everything, you just look to God and just continue to do what you are doing. As much as you know what you are doing is productive, just continue doing it. Just live your life. If you want to have fun, just have fun. Just do everything you think is right. And at the right time, everything will happen.
At the right time, everything will happen.
Yes.
Madam Messi, in conclusion.
I would like to say that we all have challenges in life, and they come in various forms. Yours may just happen to be childlessness, which is there for everyone to see that you don't have a child. But always remember that the person who may be stigmatizing you or may be saying all sorts of things about you, they aren't perfect. They have their own issues. It's just that most probably we don't see it, but they also have challenges. So know that you are not alone in your challenges. It's universal. You are not the first, you won't be the last. So we need to take heart. We need to try and stay positive. It is difficult, but you need to make the effort. You need to make the effort to ensure that your life is not just wasting away. just because you don't have a child. Like I've said previously, you can be productive, you can impact society more than even if maybe you had a child. So why are you sitting and saying, okay, may train me who we are? May train me who we are? No. So if that child doesn't come, you
then
will
what?
not live your life. No. Let's live. Let's live. Let's be positive. Let's live. And I believe that the more positive we are, you know, the way you treat yourself empowers others in how they treat you. Spoil yourself. Look up. Chest out. Head up. And when people see that you are not bothered or you are not allowing the situation to bother you, they will not be able to walk up to you and say certain things to you. So also check how you are seeing yourself, your self-perception, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Value yourself. Having a child or not having a child is not, should I say, a validation of your womanhood or your humanness. No. We are here to impact each other. Let's do that, irrespective of the challenges that we go through.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nab.
Yes, I would like to say that there's hope for everyone. There is hope for everyone. It's important that you seek medical treatment. As I said, it is a biopsychosocial problem. But as you are seeking the medical treatment, maybe you have been put on some medication. Remember that you also need somebody to take care of your mind, to take care of the things, all the negative things that people are throwing at you. So psychologically, socially, you also need treatment. So you go for the medical treatment, you seek the help of a psychologist who will give you that care so that your mind can be stabilized, your body can produce the right hormones, and then it will happen.
And then it will happen. And then it will happen. You know, last year, December 23rd, I was feeling very sick and my doctor called me to come in for a test because, yes, I was going through treatment. And I said to him, I have a program, a worship program called Gathering of Daughters. And that day, 23rd, I will not be able to come. I'll come on the 24th for the test. My doctor thought I was mad, but thank God he's a Christian. So he understood where I was coming from. So I went through my worship. My husband was around, insisting I shouldn't dance and all that. Meanwhile, I'll go and join my crazy daughters behind, who danced and danced and danced. And the following day, when I went for the test, well, this year, December 22nd, we are having a gathering of daughters again. And I take the opportunity to invite you, if you want to hear my full story, come and listen to how the journey has been, how it was and how it has been. And I pray and believe that your life will also change. Something will change for you. Not just because I'm saying it, but because you will take the right decisions. You will listen to what Dr. Nab has said. You will listen to what Auntie C has said and what Nada has also said, and your life will change. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. I remember 2 years ago, a platform, a WhatsApp platform that I belonged to. There was this issue about how many children, you know, each person has. And then somebody listed, oh, right, Ajwa 4, AC 3, Florence 5. And then it got to Gifty, they wrote 0. Yes, they wrote 0. You know, I just laughed. I joined it. I put the question 0, and I laughed. So I said, well, I'm taking care of so many children than all of you put together. I may not have been married and waited for 13 or 12 or whatever years before getting pregnant and having a child. But trust me, I know how it feels like. It's not easy. It is tough. It is tough. Among the many things that women go through, our society judges our womanhood by your ability to have a child. It's tough. But my sister, my mother, my friend, my brother, because the men get affected as well, I'm here to tell you that there is hope. Yes, there is hope. Seek help, medical help. Seek counseling. Go to the right places to have the right medical checkups to know that everything is okay. Even if in the worst scenario you are told that it may never happen, I believe miracles still do happen. But even then, if God decides that He has not destined you to have your own child, you can still cope. You can still have a life. You can adopt. You can foster. I pray that God hears your innermost cry and grants you that wish that you are crying for. It is my prayer that God gives you. But in the meantime, in the waiting period, can you and I come to an agreement that you seek the medical help, you seek the counseling, you make an effort to be happy, to live your life to the fullest, so that you'll be remembered for something. You can make an impact in somebody's life. It is well. As always, my name remains Ohineyori Gifty Auntie. And as for my super crazy faith, I'm not letting it go any day, anytime. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.